Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. If you are searching, come on in. We're all on this journey that starts within. If you got a burden, come lay it on down. Raise up your voices as we gather around, sing it if you know it. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. If you are joyful or you're concerned, come share your story. The chalice flame burns. If your heart is broken or you've been disowned, come join our circle and turn off your phones. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. If you are joyful, if you are running, you got the right to seek sanctuary, guided by the light. If you hear that calling, come join the fight, marching for justice, candles lit in the night. Last time for the chorus. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you came to be in this community, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Last time. You are welcome here.
Good morning. And welcome to the Community Church of Chapel Hill, Unitarian Universalist. I am Atticus Graysmith, a member of the Worship Associates Ministry. I especially want to welcome any visitors or newcomers to our church and to call your attention to the special note for you, welcome guests and newcomers, on the backside of our order of service. I would also like to welcome those of you attending online. Lyrics to hymns and all elements of the service may be found on the screen, and a complete order of service, including this week's announcements, is available via the link in the Sunday morning email and on the church website. Our in-person Sunday social is held immediately following service, and if you would now please silence or turn off any cell phones during our service to maintain a worshipful experience. Thank you. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. We have two within these walls today, the annual pledge drive and the day of service. I would like to invite Rowan Marshall up to share with us.
Good morning, everyone. Or should I say howdy, y'all? I'm Rowan, and you might recognize me as that girl who played Sandy in SpongeBob last fall. Thank you. Or you might remember me from the last time I spoke in this pulpit, giving my coming of age credo at 15. You could also know me from my time in youth group, in OWL, as Cindy Lou Who in Zeusical the Musical, or maybe even from my child dedication in 2001, which Charlie Cass did for me and my brother Aiden. That one's a real deep cut. As you can tell, this church has played a significant role in my life, but it goes even deeper than that. The community church is actually a bit of a generational pillar for my family. My grandmother, Patricia Waller, attended here in the 1960s and 70s, starting when Charlie Jones was the minister. My mom sang in the children's choir, just like I did. My parents began attending together in the 90s after moving here from New Zealand, and my brother and I grew up in RE here. I've watched my family be involved in every level of this church, both literally by walking through the construction sites of our new additions with my mom, who served on the building committees for the past 2 additions to our grounds, and figuratively by seeing my dad serve on the board and watching my brother work in RE. Personally, I had the honor of serving as an Inch Youth Leadership intern, a privilege made sweeter knowing that my mom was good friends with Sarah Inch. I won't try to put into words the overall impact this church has had on me. I'm not trying to hijack the sermons today. But know that I would not be the person I am today without this community. As a young adult, I've had the privilege of watching our congregation grow against all odds, in the midst of a terrifying pandemic, through a fraught election season, and at a time when overall participation in organized religion is steadily decreasing. How are we so successful? What makes us so special? At the risk of being super cliche, the answer is with all of you. This church was courageous in its conception, and we continue to be courageous in our teachings, in our activism, and in our love. People are looking for that. People need that. Our world needs it. The impact of this church, of our church, is undeniable. I hope you join me in supporting our annual pledge drive this year so we can continue to be courageous in every aspect of our lives, but most importantly, in loving each other, loving our community, and loving this world. I'll leave you with a part of the blessing that Charlie Cass said at my dedication 23 years ago. This is now your church, a place for your faith, your doubts, your accomplishments, and your failures. Always be yourself within the sanctuary of these walls. We give you our world, such as it is, and pray that you will help make it a better place for all. Thank you.
We have Janice Joplin on the set. Lights, camera, action.
I'd like to do a song of great social and political import. Goes like this. March 1, day of service for the community. Sign up on the website, it's quick and easy. Breakfast and potluck that are fresh and yummy. March 1, day of service for the community. March 1, day of service for the community. Volunteer hours served by you and me. Sign up on the website or when you drink coffee. March 1, day of service for the community. March 1, day of service for the community. All of us together, from old folks to babies. Childcare available, just sign up and it's free. March 1, day of service for the community. Everybody, March 1, day of service for the community. We share our love of the world annually. Service and fellowship and childcare for free. March 1, day of service for the community. That's it. So in case you missed it, that's the day of service on Saturday, March 1st. It's an annual event to share our love and talents by volunteering and giving back to the community and living our mission of this church. Sign up now through the church website or at the Sunday Social. It's multi-generational, parents, kids, and everybody in between. Daycare is available by signing up on the website. And don't forget to sign up for breakfast and lunch and contribute to the It's a Wrap potluck lunch. And together we can make a difference through service and fellowship. Join the fun in the annual celebration to the conclusion of our annual pledge drive. Thank you so much.
If you would please stand in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, number 346. Come Sing a Song with Me, which you'll find in the gray hymnal.
Good morning. My name is Kate Debuse. I'm a senior at UNC Chapel Hill, majoring in political science and peace, war, and defense. I'm a part of the Unitarian Universalist Campus Fellowship at UNC. We meet weekly during the academic year to create community, support one another, and consider the moral and spiritual dimensions of our lives. We are grateful to have Marian Hirsch as our leader, and we are grateful to this church for supporting our group on campus. Come into this community of hope. Bring your whole self, your whole truth. You are welcome here if hope is something you carry proudly, and you are welcome here if hope is hard to find for you right now. Hope is not permanent. It's something that comes and goes, ebbs and flows. But most of all, it's something we discover and create together, something we share with one another. As you listen to words and poems and music from our UU campus ministry, we hope that you will connect and reconnect with your sense of hope. Come, let us enter into this time together. As we light our chalice, please join me in reading our chalice lighting words from cultural anthropologist Margaret Mead. You can find these words in your order of service. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you.
Good morning. I have called you children, I have called you son. What is there to answer if I'm the only one? Morning comes in paradise, morning comes in light. Still I must obey, still I must invite. If there's anything to say, if there's anything to do, if there's any other way, I'll do anything for you. I was dressed in embarrassment, I was dressed in white. If you have a part of me, will you take your time? Even if I come back, even if I die, is there some idea to replace my life? Like a father to impress, like a mother's morning dress. If we ever make a mess, I'll do anything for you. one. If you have a father, if you haven't one, I'll do anything for you. 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 I did everything 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 for you.
Careful, Glenn's gonna make you come back. Each week, we hold a time in our worship service for sharing of significant joys and sorrows. If you have a personal joy or sorrow you would like to share, you are invited to come forward, place a stone in the water. If you wish, you may speak your name into the microphone and briefly share your joy or sorrow. Let us enter into this time of tenderness and trust. Okay. Last chance.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kara Fisher. I'm here today because I love this church. And some of you know that my mom was the choir director here for many years, for about 20 years until she moved to Charlotte. She's in Charlotte right now. She hurt her leg and she can't come to Chapel Hill. She was supposed to visit this weekend, and I just wanted to let everybody know that she's okay. But she needs your support, and so do I. So thank you very much.
I drop this final stone for all the joys and sorrows that are among us but remain unexpressed. As we enter into a time of meditation and prayer, let us remember that our joys and sorrows, gratitude and despair are all mixed up together. Let us remember to hold compassion for ourselves, for each other, and the world. Our song meditation is number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open, which you may find in your gray hymnal.
Let's sing this twice in unison, and then we'll try to do it as a four-part rap.
Good morning. My name is Cole Richard. I'm a graduate student studying information science, and I am part of the campus fellowship. The poem I selected to read is by one of my favorite writers, Mark Doty, and is about four of my favorite things: art, hope, love, and dogs. Doty is originally from East Tennessee, but he wrote this poem while living in a fishing village in New England. This is Rope by Mark Doty. Our street unspools toward the harbor, swerving past guest houses, the ancient jumble of roses, fence pickets in a formal tumble, crowded as a Persian miniature, a crazy quilt, every corner filled. Where there might be a vacant spot, there's a boat in dry dock, Clorox, unfortunate moniker, and an intricate strip of garden where someone's knotted a tapestry of kale and sweet peas beside a roped pyramid of lobster traps. It's the first place I've ever really wanted to live. Art, Milton Avery wrote, is turning a corner you don't know what's around the bend till you go there. Our curve surprises with harbor glitter, a bobbing dinghy, a sunstruck triangle of boats, two trawlers idly going about whatever their business is. Here, just where the street bends, is my favorite house. Shingled, narrow, an elaborate Edwardian toaster of a house, covered with moss and drifting, almost perceptibly, towards collapse. Antony lives there, and Charlie. They walk early or late to escape the heat. Charlie, the antique spaniel, on his rope leash, so much time elapsed between steps, you might take him for porcelain, an incredibly decrepit Staffordshire figurine, or a particularly far-gone carpet bag of buffalo hide, something allowed to molder in a heap in the barn until mice made of it their own version of the granaries of Babylon. He is that old. I don't know if Antony would move faster on his own. I've never seen him without Charlie, but his pace precisely matches his dog's, as if together they were one thing, something submarine, adapted to the pressure of great depths. I've seen them down on the shore in the evening, leaning against the shoulder of an upturned dory. "We're soaking up some moonshine," Antony calls. The truth is, I avoid them, since Antony delivers monologues which do not have endings. Lucid, interesting even, but listening's a commitment of uncertain, considerable length. I don't see them for days, and then I worry, since you can almost smell the fragility of their age, and when Charlie cries a little from the difficulty of picking himself up on those no longer reliable legs, Antony cannot hear him. I'm a little surprised every time they reappear, and glad. They stand for hope and seem as tentative and constant as the steeple of the Unitarian Church, which leans a little to the right but stands. Lately, Charlie is not walking well. A few steps and those legs buckle beneath him. So Antony has constructed a sort of rope harness which the good soldier of ongoingness wears, and when he falls and looks up from those drused ancient eyes which have seen the rise of empires from which the face has sagged away, relinquishing its form to the steady pull of earth, Antony can lift him up again, even hold him suspended a while, so that Charlie can move his failing legs and feel that he has been for a walk. The neighbors say, "When that dog goes," but who'd suggest Charlie's lived long enough? Think of Solomon, who commanded the child be divided between mothers. Who could cut apart one living thing, or sever the rope that holds them both in the world? It's frayed as it is. Art is this strong exactly. Love's gravity, the weight of Charlie's body in his rope harness, suspended from his master's hand.
Freely have we received gifts that minister to our needs of body and spirit. Gladly we bring to our church and its wide concerns a portion of this bounty. If you wish to donate online, there is a QR code on the back side of the order of service and information on the church website. We will now receive the morning offering.
Wrong chords. February in Nebraska, it don't suit me. These hotel rooms, they all smell the same. Chlorine in the sheets, TV on repeat. All this has me questioning my faith. I could get into my car and drive away now. Leave my sense of purpose on the bed. Rising through the noise, this clear, insistent voice, 100 hallelujahs in my head. Say, don't you dare give up, don't you dare back down. You won't heaven, gonna go through hell. You'll be kicked and battered, shouted down and shattered. What you're doing matters. Don't you dare give up. That doctor wouldn't look up when he told me. Coughed and said I had a year to live. But now the truth be told, I'm 10 years down that road. Always knew that I had more to give. And tomorrow I'll go and face the faithful. I'll preach my sermon and I'll sing my song. When the congregation stands and everyone joins hands, We'll sing those hallelujahs loud and strong. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare back down. You want heaven, you're gonna go through hell. You'll be kicked and battered, shouted down and shattered. What you're doing matters. What you're doing matters. Don't let anybody tell you what you're doing can't be done. Don't listen when they say what you're singing can't be sung. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare back down. You want heaven, you're gonna go through hell. You'll be kicked and battered, shouted down and shattered. What you're doing matters. Sing that with me. What you're doing matters. Come on. What you're doing matters. What we're doing matters. What we're doing matters. One more time. Don't you dare give up.
Good morning. I'm Joy Frost. I'm a junior at UNC studying biology, chemistry, and Chinese. I've been attending campus fellowship since my freshman year. And frankly, I've been a little bit stressed about coming up with something to say today until I took a spectacular nap after an exam. In my sleep, I dreamed about things that bring me peace and hope. And when I woke up, I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about. Dreams as a wellspring of hope. Though you may think differently, I believe that your interpretation of dreams is what gives them or doesn't give them meaning. Some dreams are absurd, forgettable, and random. Others stay with us for years, shaping the way we think and feel. In my waking life, I adore the water, and in my best, most joyful dreams, I am swimming. In these dreams, I am always swimming forward, always moving towards something. Despite the turbulence of the water around me, I feel no fear of sinking. I feel strong, steady, and certain that I can propel myself forward and hopeful that I will reach that something. Good dreams like this bring me confidence and hope that extends to my waking life, reminding me that hope is not about where we are, but about trusting that we can still move forward. Much like on good and bad days, hope can be found in good and bad dreams, even if that just comes from the relief of waking up and realizing it was just a dream. The worst dream I've ever had brought me the most hope upon my waking. For some background, my younger sister and I were extremely close as children, but we've not had the best relationship over the last 5 years. And a year or two ago, I had a dream that she had died and returned as a spirit for a day. Despite our differences, we spent a wonderful day together, and I cherished her company. We chatted, got coffee, and explored a city together. And at the end of the dream, I realized that she had to leave again, and it broke me. When I woke up from this dream, I cried and cried. I realized how much I value her and view the ability to spend time with her as a gift, even when things were rough. I am so thankful to have her, and this dream renewed hope for me, even during the worst parts of our relationship, because it reminded me that there is a future to hope for. Ultimately, dreams end. Whether joyful or painful, we wake up, and all that remains is their impact on us. Hope is the piece of a dream we choose to carry with us, shaping how we move through the world. And even in difficult dreams, there is hope. Sometimes it's the realization that the dream is over. Other times, it's the clarity in the aftermath, a realization of what truly matters and of what is still possible. So next time you wake from a dream, hold on to the hope it leaves you.
Good morning. Hello, my name is Morgan Thorstensen. I am currently pursuing my master's in urban and regional planning here at Chapel Hill. I grew up attending the UU congregation in Charlotte, and after a few years away from church, I joined the UU Campus Fellowship last year. I graduated high school in 2020. The idea of attending college over Zoom sounded incredibly unappealing, so I started looking for a way to spend a year. I settled on AmeriCorps, a year-long, team-based service program that allowed me to travel the country at a time when few could. The program gave me incredible opportunities, adventures, and relationships, all with the added benefit of being very far from my hometown. I was ecstatic. I started my term in Arizona with a great team and a great job, but halfway through, I was restationed, moved to a new team, and relocated to Brooklyn, New York to assist at a COVID-19 vaccine distribution center. This new project was the complete opposite of my previous one. The workdays were long and unfulfilling. I was living alone in a hotel, and the city felt alien and isolating. A program that had once given me a sense of freedom now felt like a complete loss of autonomy. My future with AmeriCorps and my future at large felt more uncertain than ever. I withdrew from the world, which only seemed to grow bleaker as the days had passed. Then, I was invited to the Met. It was a Thursday, my day off, and I had resigned myself to a long day of scrolling Instagram. But then a coworker texted me, inviting me to join her on an outing. I declined, she persisted. Eventually, I conceded, meeting her in the lobby 30 minutes later. We hopped on a train to Manhattan, and I was counting down the minutes until I could return to my room. When we arrived at the Met, this breathtaking Gothic building on the edge of Central Park, I had a moment of realization. What right did I have to be miserable when I was given this opportunity of a lifetime? I was visiting a museum that many only dreamed of seeing, living in one of the world's most incredible cities, and more importantly, I was experiencing this moment alongside someone who recognized I was struggling and went out of her way to help me. The day gave me hope. I used to think hope was something that came from within, an instinct that all people naturally possessed. Now, I'm not so sure. What I do know is that hope is a hard thing to hold on to alone. The months I spent grieving in that hotel room seemed less significant when I was surrounded by so much beauty and kindness. I was inspired, and this newfound hope turned into action. My life didn't change overnight. I was still working a job I hated, I was still lonely, but those feelings became less all-consuming. I learned to incorporate and appreciate the small joys of my daily life. A bagel before work, a picnic with new friends, sneaking into a jazz bar, and when I couldn't find hope on my own, I could turn to others. I would call my mom, knowing she would listen, she would remind me I'd regret leaving, and tell me how proud she was of me. She would say, "The only way out is through." And she was right, but sometimes I didn't have the strength to believe it on my own. Eventually, the COVID-19 vaccination effort transitioned to local drugstores and doctors' offices, and our clinic shut down. My team was sent to our final project, an equestrian therapy farm in Oklahoma. I can't say I was sad to leave Brooklyn. It had been a difficult period of my life, but I left with a deep sense of gratitude. Hope comes easily in the good times, and in those times, it is essential to show up for others. I would have not made it through without the support of my team and the people I had back home. I often think back to the words of Mr. Rogers. Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. Throughout our lives, we will find ourselves on both the giving and receiving ends of that call. And no matter which role we play, all that matters is we show up. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Trey, and I'm a PhD student in Spanish linguistics at UNC. I've been involved with Unitarian Universalism since 2015 when I started going to the UU Fellowship in Boone. This year, I'm the president of the UNC Chapel Hill Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or CHUF. We're here today talking about hope. And honestly, at first I was at a loss about where to start talking about it, given the state of the world right now. I've always been an anxious person, and I can't lie and say that I'm not anxious and angry right now. As a young person, I'm anxious about what the political structures of the rest of my life will look like, what the earth will look like if the elite allow it to be ravaged by climate change to increase shareholder profits. As someone who's making a career teaching Spanish and ESL, I'm anxious as I see immigrants scapegoated and demonized for things which are in fact the failures of capitalism. As a queer person, I'm anxious watching the trans community be scapegoated and demonized as a distraction from the largest transfer of wealth to the richest 1% in the history of the modern world. The richest man in the world is controlling our government, and last week, any reference to transgender people was removed from the Stonewall National Monument, where the fight for queer and trans liberation was sparked by trans people. We are at the point in fascism where an entire group of people is being struck from the record. I learned growing up in my fundamentalist Christian household that this country was the freest and best in the world. But is it freedom to die because you can't afford medical care, or be ostracized because you challenged the gender binary, or because you weren't born here? It's a trick that those scared of losing their political and economic power have pulled over and over in this country since its founding. Don't hate us, hate each other. All this leaves us with the question, given the state of the world, is there room for hope? I think so, but I believe we have to ground our hope in political and psychological reality. I grew up in a religious environment where hope existed on the individual level as freedom from sin and hope for eternal life beyond this world. It shouldn't come as a surprise then that I witnessed many Christian fundamentalists who longed for Jesus to wipe away the current world later have no interest in making that same world fairer or more just, as Jesus presumably would have wanted. Neither was I interested in the toxic positive hope that exists in some spiritual circles where the universe will cause good things to happen to you if you just manifest them hard enough. To me, that sounded just as self-serving as fundamentalist Christianity. What finally resonated with me was this: I think you can't craft real hope without confronting darkness. David Kessler, who helped to formulate the 5 stages of grief that most of us are probably familiar with, recently added a 6th stage, finding meaning. He said that, and I quote, "We all share a need for our grief to be witnessed, for someone to be fully present to the magnitude of our loss without trying to point out the silver lining. Loss is not a test, a lesson, something to handle, a gift, or a blessing. Loss is simply what happens to you in life. Meaning is what you make happen." In other words, to get through grief and to craft hope, we have to truly be seen by each other, even if that may be harder and harder to do in our increasingly alienated society, where corporations make more money the more time we spend disengaged with the world around us. The way towards hope may not always be clear, but we don't have to make it alone. I feel hope every time I see one of my students start to think about the world in a slightly different way, or when a friend makes me laugh, or when that friend feels safe enough around me to cry. As a queer person, I also think of the darkest days my community has been through. A survivor of the AIDS crisis during the Reagan administration said, "We buried our friends in the morning, we protested in the afternoon, and we danced all night. The dance kept us in the fight because it was the dance that we were fighting for. It didn't look like we were going to win, and then we did. Keep fighting, keep dancing." So here's to hope. real, messy, imperfect, often dark, compassionate hope. Thank you.
If you would please stand in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, I Am Willing. You'll find the words to the chorus in your order of service.
You know, last service I was surprised how many people knew this song. Do you guys know the song already? Well, all right, well, here we go. I am open, and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors all those go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. There is hurting in my family, there is sorrow in my town, there is panic all across this nation, there is wailing the whole world round, but I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, may the elders be more wise, may the winds of change caress us, even though they burn our eyes. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty oak to hold my confusion. Give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder. Give me an ocean to hold my tears. All right, here we go. I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Clap your hands. I am open, I am willing, to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change.
Please remain standing in body or in spirit. The words for extinguishing the chalice are in your order of service. Please join me if you wish to do so. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Let's thank all of those, and especially our campus ministry, who contributed to making the service worshipful this morning. If you would please join us in singing Shalom. The words are in your order of service. As you are comfortable, please either hold hands with the person next to you or cross your arms over your heart.